It looked like an old man on a merry-go-round, not a monster slaying hero. This is so embarrassing. No, Ryder, I should probably give this guy a name. Donut? No, Hamtaro.
Come on in. There should be plenty of room for every.
Sounds good to me.
It's too late.
Yo, go to my what's the name on YouTube?
Hold on, what's the name?
Nigga, you don't know my name on YouTube?
No, only one I got is your Twitch, I'm gonna be honest.
It's Hayabusa.
Hayabusa. What is it? H-A-I?
No,
Or am I fuck?
Hayabusa.
H-A-Y-A. Alright, Hayabusa. Hold on.
New me, switch it up. Who is this? New jeans, so fresh, so clean. Get down on my till I told you step out.
Back together.
Ooh, why does say it's gonna take so long?
Your ideal is a pressure battle. Projection next.
Battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh my gosh! Ah! She'll have a pound fire.
Be careful.
Yeah, like.
Be careful of the sight things on this map.
What is that audio, bro?
What's wrong?
Who was that female voice?
I have your name.
Run, jump, and let go of W.
That's not me.
Run.
I have
jump,
nothing
let go
playing in my
W.
background.
And then once you're comfortable with run, jump, let go of W. Run, jump, turn, and scroll. Run, jump, turn, and scroll. Now, the next really important piece of advice for tap strafing. You want to make sure that you are scrolling the entire duration that you're turning your mouse. This is because if I'm not scrolling throughout the entirety of the turn, what ends up happening is I might tap strafe for a quarter of the movement, and then once I stop, I'm just going to stop pushing myself forward. And at this point, all I'm doing is I'm just turning my mouse. So the entire time that you're turning your head, you want to make sure that you are scrolling. Now, a side note to this is that you don't have to scroll insanely fast.
Gosh.
You don't have to scroll insanely slow. Just scroll the entire time that you're turning. Now, we take all those things, we try to put them all together. I'm going to get momentum, jump and let go of W, turn and scroll the entire time, and on top of that, I'm going to finish my turn within half a
I'm about to
second.
look right now. I just got that shit. I was looking at the video that you and Bandit are playing Warzone.
Now, there are two different
I'm looking at your
ways
stream
that
now.
you can actually tap strafe. They're really the exact same. The only difference is that we're going to add a
hold
sideways
on.
input to the tap strafe. The very first method that we're going to
Take
use
off third person.
By the way, I might be able to fix it.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
Void jumping.
You fucking piece of shit. Let's say good time.
Anyway, back to learning it.
Is what I would call a soft tap strafe to the people that I coach
should
movement
give it a
to.
cover.
This is
You
just
should-
a way
I
to
think
it's
help
easier if you
wrap
try to
your heads
slide, really
around,
not.
you know, the different versions of tap strafing or how it's going to affect your body. The first one is a soft tap strafe. A soft tap strafe is when you jump and you only tap strafe with your scroll input. This means that your body is only
it's
going
not
to
much.
move into the direction that you're looking.
Oh my
So
lord.
if I run, jump, and I make a left turn, I'm only going to move to this spot that I'm looking for, this area right here. If I want to do a 180, I'm only going to turn into the spot I'm looking towards, right behind me. Now, the second version is a hard tap strafe. This is when you add a left or a right input while you're in the air. The reason why this is hard is if I were to do a soft tap strafe, like I said, it will only push me to where I look. If I were to use a hard tap strafe, adding that ARD input, when I jump, without even turning my mouse, it will push me aggressively into that direction. Now, this is really useful because there's some situations where you don't need to have a massive push into the direction you're going. For example, if I'm parallel to this wall and I want to tap strafe into the wall, I don't really need to have a massive launch because, well, I'm already here. I'm like already next to the wall. So I would just use a soft tap strafe. Other times, I'm going to be a little bit further from the wall. So I want to make sure that I get a really hard push into it. Like that. Simply running and jumping is going to start moving my body in the direction I want to go. And then finishing off the tap strafe with your scroll turn, it's what's going to really...
I just admitted that.
solidify everything. Another
Oh,
reason
then we
might
got
be
this
you
guy
just
trying to
really wanna
copy.
cut a corner
Okay, fuck.
extra quick and extra hard. So as I'm maybe coming
This
around this
round.
wall right here, I can still have a sharp tap strafe around the corner. Or I can add that sideways input.
thought it was
and
you,
that sideways
Antoine.
input on its
Like,
own
who the hell is
is just
speaking?
gonna throw me around the corner. And the tap strafe
Bro's
will
like,
just
what the
carry
fuck is
me
that in the
even that much
background?
further.
Trying to copy me, bro.
There's some random ass
Now,
dude in
how
our
do
on our
we
team
build
has
off
voice
of
shit on. I was like, who the hell is that?
scrolling
Is
and
that
turning? How do
Bandit?
we build
I don't
off
think
of
so.
a
Like, it's like that one.
tap strafe? There's
Yeah.
so many different ways. Any mechanic that involves a jump input, you're going to be able to add tap strafing to it. For example, your
Yeah, hell nah,
slide
bruh.
jumps carry your momentum. Everyone already knows this. You jump, and it carries your momentum until you hold the slide too long and you eventually come to a dead stop. A way that you can infinitely carry your momentum is by slide jumping.
Don't worry,
and
Antoine,
every
I'm
time you
channeling the
hit
inner,
ground,
in,
you're going to hit jump.
channeling
Once
the
I
inner
stop
strange
jumping,
Antoine.
My slide will eventually sizzle out.
Mm.
Now, I'm not going to dive
Back
into
when he
all
actually
the slide
played.
jumping mechanics and how bunny hopping
Damn.
works and how to do it, but basically, because a bunny hop incorporates jumps, we can tap strafe out of a bunny hop.
No comment.
Not only can you tap strafe as you bunny hop to change your
My
direction,
portal.
but you can
Just in
change
case
your
I
tap
mess it up.
strafes. So as I start the bunny hop towards someone, maybe my target's over here, instead of just moving in a
I think
straight
I'm a surrender.
line at
Probably
that
not.
person, instead what I might do is
Oh
I
my
might
gosh, bro.
zigzag towards my opponent. That way it's a lot harder for them to hit me. Now another way that we can chain
These
or
guys are freaking
use
cringe.
tap strafing is, again, anything that involves a jump. Well, wall jumps, the last input on a wall jump is
Oh my gosh, yo.
jump.
Get
So what
off
I can
of me,
start
bruh.
doing is I can start tap strafing out of a wall jump. The way that I would think of this
I'm
is
gonna use
I
that
would just
one,
hit a
use that one,
normal
yeah.
wall jump. A wall jump is any mechanic that
Does this guy have, like,
brings you
teeth
to
with
the
me?
wall plus a jump, which is going to stick you into a mantle, and then from the mantle we jump. So I'm going to treat my last jump off the wall as my jump off the ground. And as I come in towards the wall, I'm going to scroll down, or you can use your spacebar, and we're going to tap, strafe, and turn out of it. Now, you can also use your tap strafes not just to get out of the wall jump. You can also use your tap strafes to get into the wall jump. I'm going to maybe do something a little fancy and hit a 180 tap strafe into the wall, and then 180 back out. You could make this a little bit more basic, and you could do something like a 90-degree tap strafe in, and then once you get into the wall, you could jump and tap strafe out of it. Now, another mechanic that also uses jumps are super jumps. Super jumps is a way that we basically double jump or interact and scroll, double jump off of the zip line. E-scroll. E-scroll down jump. E-scroll down. Now, I don't really have that much momentum, so there's not that much momentum to redirect, because it's easier to redirect like horizontal movement than vertical movement. But you can still see, I can still redirect it a little bit. Because super jumping incorporates a double jump from scrolling, what we can do is, as we move forward, we can tap straight out of that zip line. Now, depending on what your goal is, you might want to have a very aggressive tap strafe, and you're going to use a D, or my bad, an A or a D input to throw yourself more into that direction. So, for example, I could hit E, and that would launch me really close to where I'm trying to go. The tap strafe would just amplify that even more and help me reach that destination a little bit easier. It also works with vertical zip lines. A vertical zip line, when you super jump, it's going to want to throw you forward regardless. So what you can start doing is you can super jump and use a tap strafe to direct yourself.
I think it's like you just not used to keeping your momentum afterwards.
Here, he's in front of me, and I want to super jump into him and fight him. Maybe I don't want to fight him though. And as I'm fighting, I actually want to leave that situation and create space for my opponent. The last mechanic that we're going to use, though, is going to be super gliding. Now, super gliding on its own is really tough.
Think of this guy's voice, bro.
Tap straight to it, which is going to make it that much harder. But basically, a super glide, another mechanic that I'll cover in depth in a different video. You can think of it as in two parts. Part one is
if your man maybe dead.
Objects, so I'll use maybe this like, for example, jumping and climbing up that object. The second part to a super glide is the pause. Just before you start.
Yeah, ran out of shield.
With a super glide, your goal is to crouch and jump as you are reaching that pause, which means that if I super glide...
If you try with the jump boost, you might be able to like change your direction with the jump boost.
I can tap straight out of that mechanic.
Actually, no, let's get out with that.
If you wanted to, what you could do
is
soft tap straight.
They made it where like it makes it go in a single direction.
Piece of
Tap strafing is like impossible with the jump boost. It's a herd. Yeah, you can't switch directions.
Back into the direction that you want to go. There's so many different ways that you can incorporate jumping into your movement, which means that there's so many ways that you can incorporate tap strafing into your movement with it. Now, it should be known, tap strafing is not a mechanic that you're just going to use all the time. When I first started to learn how to tap strafe, my thought was, oh, I'm going to get in some mistakes and I'm going to zigzag on them. I'm going to go crazy on them. I'm going to break their ankles. Just because you're harder to hit does not mean that you're not touchable. You're still just touchable. People just have to work a little bit harder. Controller players can still absolutely shit on you. So don't think just because you're tap strafing, oh my god, you know, what the heck, he's cheating, he killed me. No, you're still just as easy to hit.
Yeah.
Just ever so slightly harder. Tap strafing is a tool that you're going to use to position yourself where you want to be. So if
it's a great name, but your voice doesn't match it.
That was
50 legs.
Oh, that's gonna kick! Radio boy.
Clear up your comms with voice enhancer. Our app works with any gamer app that supports voice chat. Sound off a voice that matches your name. Or sound deploy the best audio memes with the perfect timing. Add voice mod to your loadout today.
Rápido, rápido!
Wasting hours grinding in single player? With Wiimod, you can hit skip on the boring stuff like super hard levels that keep you from hitting legendary status. Stop grinding and start gaming your way with Wiimod now.
You want to bet they're gonna switch up?
If I'm taking a gunfight with someone,
My shield can protect against the Punisher ult.
different ways. I can use it to guide their aim into certain spots, meaning I might
He's
tell
chasing
them,
me.
"Hey, I'm going over here, track me,
Yeah,
in this
but I
direction,"
know
and then I
for
can
all
switch
the
up on them
all at once.
and essentially break
I just
their
got
aim
demolished
split.
by an ult, man.
You can
Demolished by
try
Punisher.
to position yourself out of a fight. I don't want to be here.
Come on,
Out.
portal.
Or you can use tap shrinking in general to
Thank you.
just
Come back, come
help
back.
you reach different spots
You
a
have
little
no.
bit quicker and a little bit more effectively. The way that I like to
Come
think
on.
about tap striping is that I'm constantly trying to tell people I'm doing something, but I'm going to do something completely different.
Yeah,
An
you got it.
example of that is something like I just said a moment ago. I'm going to tell them I'm moving in this direction, but I'm actually coming over here. Or I'm going to use tap striping as a way to manage my health ever so slightly as I'm pushing through a fight. And use that to walk up on someone. As I'm fighting this person right here, I use tap striping as a way to direct my momentum around and climb over a wall. If I hit a wall jump, it's going to want to throw me backwards. So instead, I'm going to use tap striping as a way to hook my body around back into the wall so I can climb it. There are so many different ways that you can use tap striping. It's going to come down at the end of the day to learning all of the different methods, which is something that maybe we'll talk about in a later video. And then once you've learned different methods, it's going to be up to you to think to yourself, what can I use to help myself move around more effectively? What is going to be a good tool that I can use right now to keep myself moving, hard to hit, so that I can So, that is how to tap strafe, a very basic guide with a handful of tips and tricks on how to use it, how to do it consistently, and how to incorporate it into your gameplay. My biggest tip for anyone who's trying to learn movements, especially as maybe a beginner or a novice, have fun with it. The best way to get better with it is to just do it all the time, whether that be in fights so that you can learn what works and what doesn't work, or whether it be while you're rotating from one POI to the next, one loop into the next, one building to the next. Practice just jumping around. Practice zigzagging and having fun. Practice tap strafing into wall jumps, or tap strafing out of your wall jumps. See what you can do. Pretend that you're a skateboarder, and the world is your playground. Have fun with it. Try new shit, and before you know it, you'll become a master at Apex movement. I've been on Mouse and Keyboard for just 1 year, after 5 years of Apex on controller, and I'm already fairly good at movement. So if I can do this in 1 year, imagine what you can do. I'm no one special. I'm literally just a random ass guy. So, keep trying, keep getting better, and remember, it only...
Alright, that's all you need to see. You've seen enough.
Yep.